Hello, everyone. It's Professor Noor, and in the series of Microsoft Access videos, this is my video number 7 regarding advanced form techniques. In this video, I will demonstrate to you how to work with advanced form techniques using Microsoft Access. Now, the objective of this video, at the end of this video, you should be able to add combo box that select values. Also, I will teach you how to use the format painter, how to modify the content and design of a header or a footer, how to add a command button to the form, how to add a combo box for searching, how to add a rectangle shape, how to modify the button action in a form, how to modify Visual Basic for application code, how to add the concatenated field to a form, the concatenated field to the form, how to use tab control to create multi-page form, how to insert a chart, how to modify a chart type, and then how to format the chart. So in this video, we're going to be creating two forms using the form design. We are not going to be using the form wizard, right? So the second form that I will show you is that I'm going to create multi-page form, which is a form that contains more than one page of information. So the information contains a tab control that allow you to access two different pages. Clicking the first tab displays the page containing the subform. Clicking the second tab will display the page containing the two charts, right? So let's start the procedure, right? So the thing is that in this exercise, what we need to do is obviously we need the data file, which I'm gonna be which I'm gonna put it here under the description. I will attach it so that you're gonna follow the steps that I'm gonna be showing you in this video, right? So uh, the objective of this video is to show you how you could accomplish the task, right? So for chapter number 7, we need a data file, which I'm gonna be attaching that file under the video description. So you could download and then you can follow with me through the video. So let's share my screen. So the file that I'm gonna be using is SCAC07-1. So the first thing is I will double click it. After you download the Access file, you have to double click it to open in Microsoft Access. So the first thing, you're gonna get a security warning here. So what we need is we're gonna override the name. So you're gonna go to File, Save As, and then be sure that you select the Save Database As, and then click on Save As. And then obviously I'm gonna save it under the Access Lecture folder, and I will take off the 1, and I will call this clear net. The database name will be ClearNet. And then I will save it under my folder Access Lecture. Now, if you look here, it has the name that you have given. Now we need to enable the security warning before we start the work. So enable. Now, from all my previous videos, as you see, these are your tabs. Now below the tab is your ribbon, all right? The ribbon consists of groups and the group has names. So obviously what's inside the group is the command. These are all the command, right? When you click on the tab, you see the ribbon change, right? So above the tab is the quick access toolbar. And then this one here is all object navigation window. All the access object that you created will be displayed in the navigation pane in the left hand side, right? So the first thing that we need to do is that we need to create a form in a design view, in a design view, all right? So to do that, we're gonna go to create. You will hit the create tab, click the create. Then the fourth group on the ribbon is form. And then we're gonna click on form design. So it's just a blank. We're gonna start from scratch now. After you did that, so the next thing I'm gonna be dealing with is that we have to save the data, the form, and at the same time, we need the record source so that from where the data is gonna be coming, from where the columns is going to be coming in this form, right? The information, or obviously we have to select the table. So to do that, the first thing that we need to ensure that the form selector, so we need to click on this black square. That means if you click the upper left corner of the form, that means the form has been selected, right? So be sure you click this to select the whole form. Now we need to click on the property sheet under the tools, and then be sure that you are under the form design, and then click on the property sheet. Under the property sheet, be sure that you are at the last tab, which is all. The all will show you all the property sheet commands. So click all, and then after you select the all tab selected, then we need to click on the record source because we have to indicate that the information I'm gonna be putting on my form is coming from which table. So the record source, and then click on the drop down, and then we have to be sure to click the table loads. Loads. So the table loads is being attached as our record source. Now we need to save the form. As you see, the form name is form 1. So to save it, we will move to the quick access toolbar and click the floppy to save it. You will be asked the form name. So the form, I'm gonna name it as loads space summary space form, and then click OK. As you see, the name has changed to load summary form. So the next thing is we want to give a caption. We need to give a caption to the form, right? So to do the caption, if you look in your property sheet, below the record source is caption, right? So the caption I'm gonna be giving is loads space view and update space form. So I will try to stretch it so you're gonna see what I typed. Loads view and update form under the caption. All right. Now we need to close the property sheet pane. Hit the X to close it. So the next now we need is to click the add existing field button. So be sure that you are under the tab form design, form design. All right. So be sure that you are here, form design, and then we are looking for add existing field. All right. Under the tools. All right. So to do that, what we need is we will click the add existing field. Now in the right hand side of the screen, you're gonna see now all these field available field. Now these are the field, they are from the record source that you already attached to the form, which was the loads, the table loads. So the table loads has all these columns or the field, right? So next, what we need, so the next now to add the field to the form design. So to do that, the next now we need to drag the load ID to the form design, drag it. All right. And now if you want to move both the control and the label, so this is your label, this is your control, your form control. So move your cursor and over the border of the control and you can drag it. All right. So the next we are looking at, we want the shipper. So we're gonna drag the shipper. So select and then drag it. Perfect. Then we need the pickup date. We need the pickup location. Now the pickup location, you see it says pickup location and pickup location value. So what you need is you have to click on the left hand side negative to collapse it, to close it. Now you have to drag the pickup location. Select and then drag it. Perfect. Now we're gonna go to the carrier and we wanna put it here. I will drag it so I can align it with the other one. Drag it. Perfect. Now we need the drop-off date. Select and drag it underneath the carrier control. Then we need, you can move this to be aligned with this one. You need to design your form to look nice. All right. Now, if you want to move this one individually, so you need to be sure that you click on the square, the gray square over the label or the control. The next we need the drop-off location. So we need to hit the negative to collapse it first, then select and then drag it. All right. So if you think something you want to adjust, you want to move it individually, you can move it like this. Perfect. This one, perfect. This one, I will move it to be aligned with the one. Perfect. So after we dragged it, so the next thing we need is, what we need is you can you can adjust the labels. You can position them the way you want it, right? So the last one I'm looking at, we need the driver name. So we need that one to be somewhere here. So I will drag it. Right. So now we added all the field, right? Now the next thing, if you wanna adjust the alignment, what you're gonna do, you will have to move your cursor to the left of the label and you can like draw like a box to select all these controls. And then you can go to the arrange and then you can do sizing and ordering. And then you can do to the grid. You can go here and you can align it to the left, right, top, bottom. So if we do, you see, it makes them so close to each other, right? So I will do undo because I want to have some space. All right. Now the next, when you select that, also you can use the size and spacing. So the next thing we need is to add a combo box. The next we need to add what we call combo, a combo box. Combo boxes. We will need to put a couple of these combo boxes controls, right? So a combo box combines the property of a text box, which is a box into which you can type an entry, and a list box, which is a box you can use to display a list from which to select a value. So obviously, you have two kinds of boxes, a combo box and a list box, right? With the combo box, the user can either type the data or click the combo box arrow to display the drop-down list of possible values and then select an item from the list. All right. So why do we need to add a combo box that selects the values? So a combo box that allows the user to select a value from a list is a convenient way to enter the data, right? So to do this, to add the combo, so let's do it. Follow me. So to do that, what we need is we will go back to the form design and the tab that says form design. Then that's the controls under the ribbon. So under the control, we will click the drop down here, the arrow to show us more of the controls. And then when you move your cursor over, the control is gonna give you the screen tip, and then you will know what is what, right? So we are looking for combo. This is the combo box. So click on the combo. As you see, your cursor has like the combo that the control that you selected, right? So move, and then we want to put that one somewhere here. So I will draw like a small box here. All right. And then the combo box wizard has three options. The first option says, I want the combo box to get the values from another table or query. The second option says, I will type in the value that I want. And then the third one is to find the record on my form based on the value I selected in my combo box, right? So we're gonna be in the first option. I want the combo box to get the values from another table. Then hit next. Now, because we have to select a table, so be sure that you choose the table shippers and the view tables, and then click next. Now, what field you want to select? What are the columns you want to select from the available field from the shipper table? So we need the shipper ID, double click it to add to the selected field box, and then the shipper name, and then click next. And then it says you want to sort. So we're going to sort by the shipper ID, and then next. Now, next is all will be sorted by the shipper ID. Then the next one, if you need to stretch it, you can move to the right edge of the shipper name column to auto fit the column so that all data is visible. Perfect, right? So the hide key column is recommended, right? So if you remove the checksum, then you're gonna see the shipper ID is being sorted alphabetically. So with numbers, you see one, two, three, four, five. So ascending wise, all right? Now, by default is hide the primary key column. So then we have to hit next. Then the next one here is very important. Microsoft can store the selected value from your combo box into your database or remember the value so you can use it later to perform a task. When you select a value in your combo box, what do you want Microsoft to do? Remember the value for later use or you want to store that value in this field? So obviously we're going to select store the value, and then we will click the drop down here and we will click shipper. We have to store it under the column shipper, right? And then click next. Now, what label will you like for your combo box, right? So it's now combo 8. You see that here? So we need to give a name. So the name is gonna be shipper space name, and then there is no more next. Now finish. Now you can drag this a little bit away. Perfect. Now the next, we have to repeat this step again, right? We're gonna add another combo box that will be the carrier name. So the same step that you did, so you can move this a little bit if you think you wanna align with this. You can drag it. Perfect. Now we're gonna click the combo box again from the controls on the ribbon. Click and let's draw. Now we will keep the same thing. I want the combo box to get the value from the another table or query. So next. So this time we're gonna select the carrier table. Next. And then we have to select uh, we have to select the carrier ID and then the carrier name. So double click and then we're gonna hit next. Then you could sort it by the carrier ID. Next, you can stretch it if you think that you wanna stretch the carrier name. Next, store that value in the field. So in this case, we're gonna select the carrier table, the column, and then let's see. One thing I wanna see if we need the carrier. So only we need actually the name. So we can go back, back, back. We need the carrier name only. So I will take off this. Sorry, I will take the whole thing. Then I need the carrier name. Now next, if you want to sort it, then next, we're gonna store it under the carrier column. Now next, what label will you like? So we're gonna change this to carrier space name and then click finish. We're gonna move it to be aligned with the other one. You can also use the control and the arrows in your keyboard to move it up or down. Perfect. Now we need to save the form. So click the floppy from the quick access toolbar. Now we need to use some background color. So we need to right click on the detail and then you will see fill/back color and we are looking for the gray, light gray, light gray. Click on it. As you see, change to light gray. Now we need to format the control. Using the property sheet pane give you more option with the types of changes you can make to the form controls than you have with a simple using the buttons, right? So the first thing is we need to be sure that you are under the form design tab. Now we need to click the Lord ID, not the label. These are your labels. This is the controls. And then we have to select, we can close the add existing field. Now we need the property sheet and then we want to boldface this. So in the click all, the tab all. Now look for font weight, font weight. So this is the big guy here, all right? And then we're gonna use also special effect. This is the guy here will be my next. And then I will also change the font color. The font color is here, right? So we're gonna use these three properties. I will change it. So the first thing we need is that we want the font of the Lord ID, the font weight from normal to semi-bold or semi-bold, all right? As you notice that it boldface. The next thing, the special effects now is flat. We want to change it to sunken, sunken. And then the four color means the text color. So go down, click here, and then click the three dots. Now the four colors, we need the dark blue. Click on it. As you see, it changed it. All right. So the next thing is we need to select the label for the Lord ID now. So the label, and then we need to change the value of the font italic property to yes. So look for font italic is no now by default, so we will make it yes. Click the drop down and select yes for the font italic. Next, we need to change the value of the special effect to each. So the special effects is here again. So by default it's flat. You will click here and then we're gonna change it to each. Perfect. Now we need to close the property sheet pane. Hit the X. The next is to use the format painter. Once you have formatted the control and its label the way you want, you can format other control in the same way by using the format painter, right? So the thing is that you don't need to apply the format to all the controls individually. So once you have done this one for the load, I will copy the format to all the other controls. Now to do that, what we're gonna do, we're gonna select the load control, right? And then we need to go back to the home tab, and then under the group that says clipboard format painter, double click it. Once you double clicked it, your cursor will have like a brush with it, as you see here, my pointer. Now I'm gonna click on the shipper. I will click the control pick update. As you see, I'm clicking it, it's changing it. See, that's the work of the format painter. So just click on the controls. Perfect. Now to deselect, once you have finished copying the formation, you see the format painter is in gray. Click it to deselect. Now I don't have anything in my pointer, you see. Save the changes, so click the floppy from the quick access toolbar to save what you have done. Now let's view your form. The view is under the home also, right? You will click view. So now that's so far what you have done. All right. So if you think something is cutting off or you want to stretch it, you can do so. All right. Now, if you want to go through the records, you see the navigation button here. I will click the play button to see it's changing. Perfect. All right. If you want to go back to the beginning, I will click the play button where it says first record. So I'm back to the first record. So the next is, if you think there's something is cutting off, I will click here. I will go to the layout and then I can select and stretch it. And then I can move. I can I can move this until you see the four arrows. Now this one, I can stretch this to make it align to each other. In the layout, you can also see what's happening in here. All right. Perfect. If you wanna stretch this guy, the driver. So next, if you click on view, right, in the status bar, now we are actually in the view, and then it shows you the load ID. Then it shows you in the status bar the shipper ID, right? Also, you can switch the views of the form. This is the form view. This one is data sheet view. This one is the layout view. And the last one is the design view. So you can also click this to get back to the design of the form, or you can go back to the home and then you can click view. And as you see, I am in the form view right now. So I can go to the other views also of the form. So the form consists of four views, right? Design view is more comprehensive, right? The layout view is what I showed you earlier, right? You can also do modification to your controls, to your labels. Now the next is to add a title and expand the form header section. So the next one to add the title. So let's go back to the design view and then be sure that you are in the form design tab, and under the headers or footer, you will click add title. As you see, it add loads, view, and update form. Now, if you wanna give some space, so you can drag the lower boundary of the form header, this here, so to the appropriate position. So I can just select, you see, I can drag it. Now we need to boldface. So we need the titles already been selected. So I will go to format and then I will click bold for B under the font group. All right. Then you can increase the size if you want to. All right. Then the next thing is to change the background color of the form header. We need to change the color. So because if you view the form, when you click the form design and then view form, form view, see I have two kinds of color, right? It looks good, but if you want to change it, you will go back to the form design and then you will click the form header bar and then you will do right click. You will see fill slash back color. Then we want to make it the same gray color. Perfect. All right. Now save the changes. Click the floppy disk under the quick access toolbar. Perfect. Next now, so what we can do, we can move this bar a little bit down so that we can have the space where we have to put the button command, right? So the command buttons are button placed on a form that the user can click to carry out specific actions. To add buttons, you use the button tool in the control group on the form design tab, right? So we have a series of command button wizard dialog box. You can indicate the action that you should be taken when the command button is clicked, right? For example, go to the next record within the command button wizard. Access includes several categories of the commonly used actions. So let's add a command buttons to the form. So obviously we need the command buttons to enable user to accomplish the task with a single click. So to do that, what we need is that we will go back to the controls and be sure that you are under the form design, and then click on buttons. You see the button here, which is 1, 2, 3, number 3. So click on it and draw the box wherever you want the button to be. And then you see, because it's a wizard, it's gonna pop this dialog box. Now, what action do you want to happen when the button is pressed? So these are the categories, these are the actions. So under the record navigation, we will select go to next record, then click next. Now here, how do you want the text or picture on the button? Do you want to have a picture on the button like this, or you want a text on the button? So obviously I will, and also most of the time the preferable is text. So click on text, then next. Now you have to give a meaningful name that will help you to refer to the button later. So this one, I will call it next record. Then there is no more next, then finish. So the first button is done. Now you will click button from the control, from the ribbon, and then you will draw your second button. Now it's gonna be a record. The categories will be a record navigation, and then we're gonna select previous, next, text, next. Then I will call it previous, then hit finish. Then you will click the button again. You will draw how big you want the button to be. The third button is going to be add record. So that should be under the category record operation. Add a new record. So when you click the button, it should give you a blank, and then you have to start adding a new record. So add new record. Next. We need a text on the button instead of having a picture. Next. And then you could say add record. And then we're gonna say finish. Then we're gonna go back here and we wanna draw our fourth button. Now, also you can have delete. So go back to the record, delete record, next. You don't want to have a picture. It has to be a text on the button, as you see here. Next, then we're gonna call it delete record, finish. Then also you can go back here. What if you want to save the new record that you added? So record, and then you kind say save. You can also you have print the record, and then we're gonna say next, text, and then save record is the name of the button. And the last one we're gonna do is to close it. And instead of hitting the X here to close the phone, we will have the button. That will be the form operations, close form, next, text on the button, next, and then we're gonna say close form, finish. Now you can select, hold the shift key, hold the your left key of your laptop or the mouse, and then select all the button, and then go back to arrange, and then align to the grid, go back, align to the top, right? and then you can go here, and then you could fit it to the tallest, to the shortest. Also, you can distribute them if you want equal, horizontal, increase horizontal, and so on, right? So everything look perfect. Now, the next is to add a combo box for finding a record. So let's first save. Let's view your form. So click Form Design and then click on View, or you can click View here too on your status bar. Now next, instead of using this one here, your navigation button, now you have the button. See? Now if you want to go previous, okay, and then delete, save, close. Now we need to add one more combo box to find a record. So you can click the combo box arrow to display the list and then select the desired entry from the list, right? So to do that, what we need to do, we have to go back to the design view of the form, all right? And then we have to select the small square in the corner, in the upper left corner, click on it, the form selector, all right? Then open your property sheet. As you see, the form has been selected. And then where it says the record source is lowered, and then you have the three dots. Click on the three dots, and then that will give you a message. You invoke the query builder on a table, say yes. So it's gonna open the query. All right. So in this case, the table is the load. That's your record source actually. All right. So what we need in this case, I need to add the load ID, double click it to add to the grid. Pickup date, double click it. Pickup location, first you have to collapse it, hit the negative, and then double click it. Then we need the drop off date, double click it. We need the drop off location, click the negative to collapse the drop off location and then double click it. We need the driver name, double click it. And then we are looking for the carrier, double click it. And then final, the shipper. Now, after we add all this, the field is added to the query. Now we need to save it. So we're gonna go to File, Save As, Save Object As, Save As. Now we need to give the name Query Form, Query Form, and then click OK. Now we need to close the Query Form, Query Builder tab and save the changes. So from here, you will click the X to close it and save. Yes. So that is done. And we are back to our form design. Now we're gonna add a new combo. So click the form design, click the combo box, and we're gonna add the combo somewhere here. Now the third option, I will be using find a record on my form based on the value I selected in my combo box. All right, click next. Now the next is we need to select the load ID, double click it. The pickup date, double click it. The pickup location, double click it. The drop off date, double click it. So these are the drop off location also. So these after we added, you can also click the greater sign button to add. Now hit next. This will be all the information. All right. So you can adjust it. You can make it this. Why is too much stretched? Look, load. This one is like this. The pickup, the end, and the drop off. Left key of your mouse, and then you can shrink it down. Then hit next. Now, what label will you like for your combo? So the ampersand shift and 7, and then load to find. And then there is no more next, click finish. Now you see the ampersand or the and sign that you put there before the load. That's just to underline the label. Underline the L. You see the L has been underlined. Now we need to place a rectangle to emphasize an area of the form. You can place a rectangle around. It is a visual clue, a visual clue. So to do that, I can move this a little bit up. Now I can stretch this. Now what I need is I need the rectangle. So click for more. And then the rectangle is gonna be this rectangle. Click on it and then just draw a box over. If you want to stretch it a little more. Perfect. Now we need the property which is already here. Be sure you click the tab all. Now we need to be sure that the special effect is each. So in our case, it is each. Perfect. Now we need to check the back style. Back style. The back style also will be transparent. So in our case, it's already transparent. Perfect. Now adjust any control where to make all the label visible. So whatever you want. make anything to adjust the width. Now, the next is we need to click the date, the pickup date, the control, not the label. And then we need the text alignment to be left. Text align is general now, so we need to align it left. The same thing we need to do for the drop off. You will go back to the text align, click the drop down and select left. Now close the property sheet pane and save the changes. Click the floppy from the quick access toolbar. Now let's view the form. All right. So this is the combo box to find the record. So let's say if you want to find, as you see, 3, 3, any record you want to find, see, everything is changing accordingly. Now, using the buttons, right? So suppose that we want to test the add record button. Clicking the add record button will clear the content of the form so that you can add a new record. For example, you have a new load that a new record you want to add to the form. You will click add. It cleans everything. You see that, right? So when I clicked the add button, my cursor should set focus here, right? But it doesn't. You see that? It does not. So we need to do something here that we're gonna set the focus. Whenever you click the add record, the cursor should blink under the shipper, right? So as I show you how to use the combo box, right? So if we go to the previous and then I go here and select this 7 and 7, right? 7 and 7. Now, if I click the previous record, there is a problem in here. When I hit the previous or next, this guy changed to 6, but this one does not update it. See? It says 7 and 6, although it should say 6 and 6 because I said next or previous record, right? So we're gonna do some update. We have to write some code in here to make it work together, right? So the first thing we're gonna do is that we wanna set the focus. When I click the add button, my cursor should start blinking here, right? And the other problem that we have with the combo is that when you go to the next records, what happened is that it does not change. Look, see, 4 the load is, but this one does not change. Although it finds the record, it finds the load, but if I go next or previous, it does not update this, right? So we're gonna fix these problems. So a control is set to have the focus when it becomes active. So when I click the add, it should focus on the shipper. Your cursor should be active. It should become active. It should blink, right? That is when it becomes able to receive user input through the mouse, touch, or keyboard action. At any point in time, only one item on the form has the focus, right? So that will be the shipper field. Whenever I click add, my cursor should set the focus on the shipper field control. Now, macros. To correct the problem with the add record button not displaying the insertion point, you will update the macro, which is a series of actions that Access performs when a particular event occurs. In this case, when the add record button is clicked, Access has already created the macro. You just need to add a single action to it. Specifically, you need to add an action to the macro that will move the focus to the control for the shipper field. So the appropriate action is to go to control. Like many actions, the go to control action requires additional information called the argument, right? Or arguments. The arguments for the go to control action is the name of the control. In this case will be the shipper, right? So let's do that. And then we're gonna fix when I update my phone also the search combo also should change according to next and previous, right? So let's do it. So let's go to the design of the phone. Now we need to click on the add record and then do right click. So one more thing, if you want to make these to be bold-faced, so you can move hold the left key and select all the buttons like this, right? Grab your property sheet and then you can make it bold-faced. See, font is normal now. You can make it bold. All right. Now do right click. First select the add record button and then right click on it. After you see the shortcut menu, you will click on build event. When you click the build event, you will be under the macro design, right? And then we are in the action catalog button is been selected as you see here, right? So what we need now in this case, these are all the actions on error, what you need, what the macro is going to do to go to the next records. And then if there's any error, then display a message, right? So what we need is actually we need to drag go to control action from the action catalog pane. So you see there in the right hand side, we have the action catalog. So we need to go to database object and then we need to select or we need to add the go to control, right? So what we need now is that we need to double click it to add it. Now go to control has been added, but the problem is that I want to add it here, right? Let me show you. We want go to control to be the third inline here. It should be here, right? One way you can use, you can drag it, select these, the gray, you see the gray here, select and drag it here. The next one, you can use this button here to move up, right? So let's show you how to move it. Move up, not here, move up, not here, move up. That's where I need it. Now, one argument you have, it says what control name, what's the control name you want to go to when you hit the add button? That one is the shipper. As you tap ship, you will see the shipper, double click it. All right. Now click the save button from the ribbon. All right. And then we need to close to go back to the form design. So that is done. Now the issue that with the combo box, as I show you now, let's show you when you view your form, click the form design and click on view. Now, when I click the add, my cursor should blink to the shipper control. You see it's blinking, waiting for me to type, right? That's perfect. Now, the problem that we have, you see, if I click here and I select, let's say the boss wants us to find the load 4, it changed to 4, but when I click previous or next, as you see, the load is changing, but this combo box one is not changing at all. It's stuck with the last thing that we found, 4, but here now is 7. So if I change it to 7, this should also say 7, right? But it does not update it. So we need to work on this. So let's go to the design. So the first thing we need to do is to modify the combo box, right? So what we need is that select the combo box and grab your property sheet, and you see the name, it says combo 20. Combo 20. So we need to delete this backspace. So the name will be load shift and minus the underscore 2 shift and the minus the underscore find, right? You cannot give space, so you have to use the underscore. So load to find, we name this combo box now has a name, load to find. Now we have to select the tab that says data from the property sheet, the second in line. And then we need to click on raw source, raw source, raw source. Click and then click the 3 dots under the raw source. It's gonna open the query builder. This is the query builder. Now we need to sort the pickup date row. All right. So go to the pickup date under the sort row. Click ascending. All right. So ascending sort order on the pickup date field. Then we need to hit the floppy to save the changes we did. Now we need to close it hit X to close the query builder. Perfect. Next, we need to correct the issue with the combo box. The form does not update the load ID in the combo box to reflect the load currently on the screen, unless the load to find box is used to find the load, which I show you. So to fix the problem, we're gonna be doing some visual basic kind of coding in here. So what we need is that we need to select the load, not the label, the control. The property sheet is already open. Click all, and then in the property name, what we need is, you see, I don't have the underscore between the load and ID, so you cannot use Visual Basic like this when you're gonna be coding. So it has to have the underscore, the separator. So delete the space. So it has to be load underscore ID, right? So once we have done that, now we need to click the form selector, the box in the upper left corner of the form to select the form. This one here, right? So the form has been selected. The selection tab is form, you see here. Now we have to go to the event, the tab that says event. Look, the third one. This has all the event. Now we need to click the event current, on current, right? On current. And then we have to click the three dots. It's gonna open a small dialog box that says choose the builder, which builder you want, macro builder, expression builder, or code builder. So we wanna choose the code builder and then click OK. That will open Visual Basic. As you see here, it says Microsoft Visual Basic for application. So in this case here, the event is on current, right? So when the form is current, what you want to do? We want to say hit the tab key, and then we're gonna say me dot is gonna open the box here to find the method or the what you need. Me means the form. Me dot load to find. You see the load to find here, the one that the name of the combo box. So remember we changed it to underscore. So that's the one here. Double click it. Dot value. Visual Basic is not difficult. So value, double click it. Then equal. You want to make the combo box to find the load equal what? Equal the load ID. Remember we changed the load ID also with the load underscore ID, right? Then space, we need to put a comment why I did this. So put the single apostrophe sign and I will say update the combo box and then you can press the enter key. All right. So the green indicate that this is just a comment, right? If you don't want to put that, that's okay. But when you are a programmer, Obviously, whatever coding you are doing is better to indicate why you create this. All right. After you did that, now you need to hit the floppy to save what the code you did, save it, right? And then we need to close the Visual Basic. So you need to hit X to close it, right? So we are back to our form, all right? Now, the next thing we need to click the load to find combo. So click this, not the label, the control. And then the property sheet is already visible. If it's not, then you have to go to the form design and then property sheet. So then click for me all, and then we wanna look for a tab. So you see the other here, instead of all, click all other. Under the other, then look for the tab stop. Yes, so we will say no, not tab stop. So we clicked in no to change the value of the tab stop property, which skips over the combo box in the tab sequence. Now to adjust the tab order, stop order. Currently, when you tap to navigate through the control in the form, the focus skips from the control to control in an illogical order. So setting the tab stop order can fix this problem, right? So let's check it. Select the shipper and then let's go to the tools under the form design. Click on tab order. So in this case, what we need is we need to check is everything perfect. So we need the load, the next shipper, and then we have the pickup, location, carrier. So everything look perfect. So I don't have any problem. So just click OK. All right. So if you want, you can select. So you can also use, you can drag this guy where if it's in the middle here, you can drag it up, right? Or auto order it. Okay. I will click OK. Now let's check the form now. So view. Now when I will click next, as you see, pay attention to this box and the load. His board is changing when I say next. Check it out. 4, 4, 5, 6, next, previous. All right. So this one is perfect. It's working. We updated it now. Next is if you click here and then you find, let's say 14, So everything change. Then if I hit next, it's a new, previous, see, see, everything is changing. Your load and the find to load now, both of them are changing. So if I click here to find number 4, so both is changing. So everything is working perfect. So this form is done. We completed this form. Now the next one is creating a multi-page form. If you have determined that you have more data than will fit conveniently on one screen, you can create the multi-page form. It's a form that includes more than a single page. There are two ways to create multi-page form. One way is to insert a page break at the desired location or the locations. An alternative approach, which produces a nice looking and easy to use multi-page form, is to insert a tab control. So the multi-pages called the tab pages are all contained within the tab control. So let me show you. So what we need next is that we need to close this form, save the changes. Now, to create a form in a design view first, so go to create, and then we need the form design. All right. Then once you are in the form design, we need to ensure that the form selector, click on the form selector, this guy here, right? And as you see, the selection tab is the form now. All right. Now in the property, let's click all, and then the record source. The first one is the record source. Click the drop down, and we need to select the shippers. Shippers, to select the shipper table as your record source for the new form. And then we're gonna close the property. Now we're gonna click on add existing field. These are the shipper now. So we need the shipper ID. We will select and drag it to the design section. All right. And then we want to change the label. So double click the label. And then we're going to make this to be shipper identification. So we will move this a little bit here. All right. Shipper identification. And then you can resize and move the label and the shipper going to match. Okay. Next now is what we're gonna do is to join two information in one box, and that is called concatenation. Is when you are joining concatenation. When you want to join multiple information into one box, right? So the concatenation means to combine objects in a series, right? So we wanna combine the shipper name with a colon and a single space and then the shipper contact name. So let me show you how to do it. It's not difficult. So we need the text box, and then we will move it somewhere here. So we don't need the text box. You can select the text and delete. So just we need the the control, not the label. So I deleted it. Now we're gonna type in the box. You will start with equal, then you will use the square bracket. Then you're gonna type shipper name, close the square bracket, then a space, shift and 7 for the ampersand, a space, the comma, the apostrophe sign, not this one, the single comma, this, then colon, shift and the two dots. Now close. You can give some space if you want to. Now I will give a space, shift and 7 for the ampersand, then a space, then the single arrow, comma, some spaces, then shift and 7 the ampersand again, and then space, open a square and type shipper contact, close the square. So that's what you need, right? As the entry in the text box. Now we need to save the form. So click the save from the floppy, and then we're gonna name it as shipper payment payments form and click OK. Now let's see what you did here. View your form. So we have the shipper and the shipper contact and the shipper name. You see, that's what you did. You have joined, you have grouped two things in one text box. And that process is called the concatenation, which means to combine objects in a series. All right. So let's go back to the design. So now we need to use the tab control to create the multi-page form. So user will be able to click the datasheet tab in the completed form to view the rate confirmation and the commission in a datasheet view. And then when they click the next tab, it's gonna display the chart. So to do that, we're gonna go back to the controls, and then the tab control is this. As you see, when I move my cursor, it said tab control. Click on it, and just you can draw like a box. So we have page 4 and page 5. So if you click 5, that's 5. If you click 4, it's 4. Now my property sheet is open, and then we could change the name, right? So the first I am now in the page 4. The page 4 will be named, we gonna go to the caption, right? Go to the caption, and then we're gonna say data sheet. All right. Now click or press the enter key. Now click on the page 5, the tab page 5. Go to the caption, and we're gonna call these charts. So be sure you click the data sheet. So because we want the data sheet will have the record from a table here, and then when you click the chart tab, it's gonna display the chart. So I can stretch it, hold the boundary and the yellow dots to stretch it. Now we need to be sure that you click the data sheet, right? Now we're gonna add the subform, right? The subform enable you to show the data for the rate, cons, and commission for a given shipper at the same time. So we're gonna go back to the controls and then click the arrow for more, and then we are looking for this one here, subform slash sub report, this one. So click it, and then when you move your cursor, it's gonna turn to black. That's normal. And just you can create like a box kind of stuff. All right. So the next is we're gonna select from an existing table. So hit next. And then from the drop down is gonna be the payments. And then from the payments, we are looking for payment ID, double click it. A rate commission confirmation, double click it. Agent commission, double click it. Shipper bill, double click it. Status. And then we also looking for the shipper ID. So patient ID, payment ID, rate confirmation, agent commission, shipper bill status, and the shipper ID. Then next, that's how they're gonna be linked from the top, the shipper ID, and then to the data sheet. They will be linked automatically. Next, as you see here, the show payment for each record in the shippers using the shipper ID. They will be linked. Next, so what the name of the sub will be. So it's gonna be payments by shippers, by shipper, and then click finish, and then click save from the floppy on your quick access toolbar. All right, and then we need to close the shipper payment form. Now we need to modify the sub form. All right, so let's go down and let's look for, in the navigation pane, we need to right click the payment by shipper, the form, right click on it, design from the shortcut menu. Now we need to click the shipper ID. and then we will delete it. So we don't need the shipper. Okay. And then we're gonna view the form, and then you can adjust. Perfect. Now save your subform, hit the floppy, and then close it. Now we need to resize the subform. The size should be enable the user to clearly view all the data without taking more room than needed. All right. So let's double click the shipper payment form, and everything look perfect. All right. If you click next here, it's gonna show you all the information regarding the shipper identification 03. You see, perfect. Now we need to change the background color. So let's go to the design. Now click, or you can just do a right click on the detail area, fill, and then we will make it fill with the gray. Perfect. Now we need to insert the chart. Why we need to insert a chart in the second tab? To visually represent the data in a table or query, you can create a chart, right? To insert a chart, obviously we need to use the chart tool on the form design tab, all right? So to do that, we will click the tab chart. I don't have anything here. So go to the controls, and then you will see the chart. Click on it and just draw like a box. Once you draw the box, and then you release your finger from your mouse, from your keypad. Now we need to which table, right? So obviously we will select we will select the payment. So we need to click on the payment, next, and then we are looking for rate confirmation. Double click it, and we need the shipper bill status. Then hit next. These are the type of chart. What type of chart will you like? So we're gonna select the pie chart. Then click next. Then click next. Then this is how they're gonna be linked from the form to the chart by the shipper ID. Click next, and then we're gonna call it rate confirmation, status, and then there is no more next. Click finish. So the chart is created. Now we need to add one more chart. So we're gonna go back to the controls under the form design. Click the down arrow for more. Click the chart and let's create one more chart next to the one that we already created. And then we will select the table payments again. Next. This time we will add the load ID, agent commission. Now click next. We will select the column chart. Next. Then what we need is that we will double click the sum of the agent commission and then be sure that we don't want the sum. We don't not nothing. Said none. Click OK. So I double clicked it this one here. Then the next thing, then hit next. They will be linked by the shipper ID in the form, and the chart will be linked by the shipper ID. Hit next. Now the name will be agent commission by load. Then the next thing is no, don't display a legend, and then click finish. Perfect. So you can reposition the two chart to match, right? So everything in my case, I can make this a little bit down here. This one. So you can reposition it. Perfect. Now to use the form, let's go back, view. Now click the tab chart. That's the chart for the agent. Now next. So we don't have here. There's the one here. All right. Now, what if, now if I click here, the data sheet also will show me information about S001. Now the next to modify the chart type. All right. So let's go back to the design. Select the chart and do right click on it. And then you will see the object, and then you can click edit. All right. Now, what we could do here, so we did this, and then you can change here. All right. And then the shipper payment. So you can say 1/4 second. You can edit as much you want. All right. So if you want, we can just change it. For example, I will change this one. I will delete it, for example. I will delete this one. And then this will be first, first water, tap it. Then second, tap it. Third, water, tap it. And then fourth. Now we're gonna type here. Number one will be the east. Then west. Then north. Right? So you can modify it. That's not the end of the world. You cannot change it. You can change it. Then 20.4, 30.6, and then 45.9 in the second quarter, 27.4, press the enter key, 38.6, and then 46.9. The third quarter, 90, 34.6, 45. Then the fourth quarter, 20.4, 31.6, and 43.9. Perfect. All right. So if you want to change the chart, do right click. So be sure to right click, and then the chart type, and then different kinds of column chart. We will select this one here, and then we will click OK. And then the next thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna close it, right? Or you can view your phone. So let me see here. So I clicked it anywhere just to get out of that and then view it. Next. Okay. Design. You will right click, then you will do edit, and then actually it doesn't save. So let me try again. So let me do it again. First quarter, cap it. Second, third, fourth. That was somehow it does not save it, so I will have to do it again for my lovely people, my lovely audience. So west and then north. So we're gonna change the value to 20.4 to 20.27.4 90 and then 20.4 31.6 34.6 and then 38.6 and then 30.6 45.9 46.9 45 and then 43.9. Now we need to, if you want to change the type, so be sure, right click and then you can change to the type, right? So everything look perfect. File and save. So I hit file and save. Now let's view it. All right. So let's go back to the design. Select, and then if you want to change this one, you can do right click, edit the object, and then you can select and then do a right click, format the legend, and then placement. You can say in the bottom, and then click OK. All right. And then also you can change this if you want to. You can change it like you're gonna say we can delete this. We're gonna say first quarter, tab it, and then the fourth. You can increase, so you're gonna see well. East, west, north. 27. Just I'm populating this to show you that anytime you can change it. Then this one, 30.6, and then this one we're gonna make it 45.9. Right? Now close this. Then if you wanna do right click, you can format the chart. You also have chart options, data labels. You can add the percentages. You can add the values like in Excel. You can also add the category. See? So if you want the percentages, it's gonna show you the percentages. All right. So these are the stuff. See, you can import, view, and then you can also double click to change. Uh, So with that, it ends my lecture for chapter number 7 and video number 7 regarding advanced form techniques. I hope that you learn a lot from this video, and also be sure to share the video with your friends and family. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, so that I can create more productive videos in the coming days and years. Thank you so much and enjoy your day. Thank you so much. Bye.